Morning, guys. Had some technical difficulties here on my end. Apologize for the delays. Good morning, Mike. All right. So let's go ahead and get started because I'm already kind of into this. Hopefully, the others will find us here. I posted a new link in Twitter or X. So let's hope they locate the new link. Hey, Trader Dubois. All right. Let's go ahead and just kind of review. Start with our risk disclosure here, guys. Again, the content that's being published by the market trader is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice and offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk and is not for every investor, and an investor could potentially lose all or more than the investor's initial investment. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation to offer, buy, sell futures, options, or forex. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All right, guys. So let's move on to the news because I think there's a fair amount of news today. So stop share here and share. Where's my financial juice? Here. There it is. Okay. So all right. Hopefully you guys can see my screen here. So jobless claims, I guess, came in worse than forecast. Initial jobless claim came in worse than forecast. Continuous jobless claims fell a bit. PMI is still to be reported. Still to be reported is PMI coming up here at 9:45. Then we have ISM PMI coming in at 10 a.m. And then we have a couple of Fed members speaking here at 10:40. All right. So a couple of pieces of news has already been kind of posted in the market. And obviously, so yeah, so jobless claims continue to be above forecast, which probably is already impacting the market some. So let's go ahead and take a look at markets. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the charts here. Okay. All right. Let's start with the standard mini contract here. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. So let's see. Daily. All right. So we'll take a look at the daily. Okay. So the daily has been a bit of range, which kind of has probably made gold trading a bit more difficult than usual, but looks like we are creating a bit of a double top here. We're struggling to get above 2,700. You can see that we have a little supply area above, and we have a developing bearish candle here to the downside. Okay, if we do break, I would say 2656. I think we have a reasonable chance to get back down to 2615, maybe 2625. Okay. I do see that we have, a price that's overlapping, which makes it which could make trading gold somewhat difficult. Okay. Since it's range bound. Okay. So be aware of that. All right. So looking at the 4-hour chart. Okay. So here we are. Again, we're up against, let's turn this off here for a sec. Okay. So we're up against some supply areas, reacting away from some supply zones. And so you can see here that we're kind of range bound against a little more clarity about what we were seeing on the daily chart. Again, this is kind of what I was kind of referring to earlier as our double top. Okay, these two areas here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I said if we can get below. We did react off this level at 26.55 already once. Okay, we already reacted away from this area once. Okay, now we're back close to this area again. Okay, if I'm going to entertain longs, well, I need to see some sort of price action to indicate that. Right now, the price action that I'm seeing is to the short side. Okay, I need to see a break of structure to the upside before I would entertain anything to the long side. Okay, 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. We have a developing bearish engulfing candle. Some of this may be the result of news. Okay, we had this morning. All right, jobless claims. All right, both new and continuing. Okay, so again, we have a developing engulfing candle. So we'll have to see how this plays out here. I'm going to go ahead and open up ADR here. I'm going to turn off supply and demand here for a second. So we have our ADR zone above, and we actually have reached ADR to the downside or very early in the market. We did have a little bit of a reaction away from it, but that has been met with sellers, and now price is below settlement price. So it appears that price wants to head lower in gold. Okay, if we break below 26.63, I think that's a very much a possibility, and that we could head down to maybe this prior settlement price of 26.60, maybe as low as 26.52. Okay, so that's kind of so let's go ahead and open up some of these other levels here. We'll go ahead and add the levels. So this is our initial balance range. Price is now below value. Okay, from yesterday's session. Again, another feather in the cap for the bears. We'll go ahead and add our levels here. So if we can locate my spreadsheet here, we'll go ahead and add our levels. Okay, here they are. Let's go ahead and add these here. Okay, so these are the levels that we'll be tracking in this market. Okay, just kind of spot check them. We have value area high at 26.79 here. Okay, we have value area low at 26.68. That's down here. Okay, and then we have point of control at 26.70. Okay, 26.70. And we got that. And then average daily range, we've already kind of mentioned here, is above us here at, let's say, 26.96. And then average daily range low is at 26.68 down this level, which we initially reacted away from, but now we're right back to it. Okay. So relatively, I would say a relatively wide initial balance range, I think, as a result of the news. So we need to be careful with any sort of extension, okay, that initial price makes that may or may not be sustained, okay, given the wide range as a result of news, okay. So we need to be wary of any sort of failed auction that gets us back into initial balance and rotates through back into initial balance and through initial balance. anytime we have a wide range, it increases the possibility of that failed auction possibility. Okay. More importance maybe to the edges of the initial balance range. So we're a good half hour away from that initial balance range being established. So as I mentioned, we're below value. We are below settlement. All indications point to us heading lower in this market. I'm a little wary of the fact that we have a relatively wide initial balance range. Okay. I'm a little wary that we have a little bit of a initial balance range. Now, 80% chance, Mike. That's what mind over markets say. Okay, if we get a close back inside initial balance, it's 80% chance that we rotate through the entire initial balance range. Okay, no guarantees, but that's what the books say. Okay. Right, either traversing value or traversing the initial balance range. Right now we're below both of that, so we're nowhere close to that at the moment happening. Okay, we still need to wait for the initial balance range to establish, and then at that point, then and only then do we start to evaluate whether the initial balance range is going to hold, okay, or whether price is going to peak below and reverse through it. Okay, so that's kind of my initial kind of take, okay, on the gold market. All right, so right now I would say that we're very much bearish, okay, and we should be looking for opportunities to the bearish side. Okay, we'll open up anchored VWAP here. Okay, we'll take the top of the market here. I'm not going to use, let's say, maybe top of London, right about here. Okay, so you can see that the anchor VWAP is also being pierced to the downside. We peaked above and has been met with some selling. Okay, daily VWAP should be somewhere in this range already. If it's not, we will open it up. Okay, daily VWAP price is also below daily VWAP. So a lot of indications. 2688. Yeah, that's it should be 2668. You are correct. 2668. 2660. Oop, not 58. 68. Okay. Thanks for the catch. All right. So yeah. So in any case, guys, we have a relatively wide range. We have a half hour away from this initial balance range from being established. So we'll just have to hang tight here and see how this initial balance range plays out. Okay. And then we can decide from there. Okay. But right now it appears that the market is relatively bullish. Okay. We just closed an engulfing candle on the 30-minute chart that basically wiped out a bunch of buyers, a bunch of folks that thought that the gold market was going to head higher, has gotten their hopes spoiled. Okay. All right. So right now the question is, are we going to extend? Okay. At these levels, or are we going to begin to reverse at this initial balance low? We'll have to wait and see. Okay. All right. So with that said, unless there's any further questions on the gold market, we'll go ahead and move over to crude oil. All right. We'll go ahead and modify this to crude oil. Okay. So here's the crude oil market. So we have a relatively tight range, but the initial balance range just established here about a minute ago. All right. So looking at the daily chart, again, we've had some meetings here of late, okay, to try to, I guess, improve, or at least OPEC was trying to improve or maybe stabilize some of the pricing that they've had with crude oil of late. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn these off here. So looking at the daily chart, you can see that the market is indeed trying to head higher. We have a candle that is above some structure here, not on just any level, but on the daily level. Okay. So if this does indeed manage to close above, then it feels to me like market is indeed trying to head higher. okay, in this, okay? So we're breaking some price structure to the upside, all right? This is kind of acting a little bit opposite to what we're seeing in the gold market. All right. 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart, here we are. We had, a candle here in the Wednesday's trading, I guess, as a result of the EIA report. And now we're reacting in an opposite direction. Okay. Now, to really kind of embrace the bulls, I would say that we need to get above 72.18. Okay. To really embrace the bulls, we need to see a break of structure to the upside. But we're starting to see some indications of that. Outside of this candle right here, which probably flushed a lot of longs, price is indeed above settlement, is above daily VWAP, and our volume delta seems to be a bit aligned to the upside as well. Okay, 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart that we're starting to establish our initial balance range. Okay, right now the initial balance range is relatively tight. We have a 30-minute bar that's closing above structure. That's already taken place, and we have a follow-up candle equally as bullish developing to the upside. We are above daily VWAP. We are above settlement price, and we are going to draw our anchored VWAP here and see where that lands. But chances are that's going to be to the upside as well. Okay. We're going to go ahead and locate the this pivot here around the middle of the London session here. And here we are again. Market appears to be looking to move to the upside. Okay. So let's go ahead and open up our ADR levels. We're coming up on ADR. We have our ADR ranges. We're going to go ahead and open up ASR. Well, there's an ASR. So we have some resistance above us. Okay, this resistance above us could be an opportunity for us to take a potential short trade. Okay, in this market. Why am I saying that? Well, we're coming up into an area where we had sellers before. Okay, chances are that these sellers are still going to be around. Okay, even though we've gotten some bullish structure of late, now we're coming into some areas where we could we could see some selling. So again, similar to other markets, we're going to wait for the initial balance range to establish. The more narrow the range, the more likely we are going to see a sustained auction in one direction. Okay, right now it seems to be quite tight. Okay, we have a very tight range, 71.74 to 71.97. Right, that's sometimes the width that we have for our stop losses. So quite the tight range here. Okay, so let's go ahead and add our levels here. Okay, we're going to add our levels to the charts. Okay, here are our levels. So again, guys, right now we're above settlement. We're above daily VWAP and the anchor VWAP. We have let's see, 72.14 as our average session range. I have 72.12. We'll just modify that a bit, and then we have 70.29 is our average session range low. So that's pretty much in line. Okay, 70.29. Okay, average daily range low is a bit lower here at 69.81. Okay, so our levels seem to be, and the last thing I'm going to draw here is our average range levels. I'm going to double check to make sure that I'm looking at the right ranges. Okay, and I'm not, so I'm going to modify this to include not the 6 to or 9 to 430. Okay, and so we'll go ahead and click on that. All right, so these are our ranges. We have value area high at 71.61. We have value area low at 69.87. So our levels are all intact here, guys. So right now, I would say that given the proximity of the average daily range, that we're probably looking for an opportunity to the downside. Initially, I was thinking a bit bullish, But now that I see that we're where we are in location to prior price, that we might be in an area where we could see a bit of a sell-off. Now, the important things that I need to see here is that I need to see price begin to close below. Hey, Stumps, I need to see price close below this anchor VWAP and daily VWAP to really embrace the shorts. And then I have settlement price and average daily range low as targets for price. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on the crude oil market. If there's no questions, we're going to go ahead and move on to the equity markets. So we're going to go ahead and let's see, locate them here. Okay. We'll go ahead and look at the NASDAQ to start. Okay. NASDAQ Z 2024. Okay, so here we are looking at the daily chart again. What is the market trying to accomplish? Okay, well, the market is trying to accomplish. Let's close this off here. What is the market trying to accomplish? Let's turn off some of these levels. They're kind of distracting my ability to review this. Okay, so what is the market of late been trying to accomplish? Well, the market has really been trying to head higher. Okay. It seems like we've gotten maybe a little bit of this looks like it may maybe be a little bit of a pullback, okay, from this swing here. All right, we got a swing down, we got a push back up, a swing back down, and now a push back up. Maybe we follow up with another swing down because this seems to be developing a bit of a consolidation triangle. Okay, you can see here. You can see that we're developing a little bit of a consolidation, kind of triangle pattern here. Okay, as we decide what direction we want to take this market. So until that decision is made, the expectation is that we'll continue in this triangle pattern until we get to the apex of this triangle, at which point, hey, clean sober, at which point maybe we get a break. Now, the break of this, as you can see, the mouth of this candle here, okay, not candle, mouth of this triangle, you can see the length, the width of this. Okay. Now, I can tell you this. Whatever at some point, okay, maybe this is around election time, we will receive a directional move in this market that will span the length of this. Okay. At some point. Right now, whether that's to the upside, okay, right, or whether that's to the downside, that I cannot tell you. But based on this pattern, we are developing a move of that kind of force. Okay, we're kind of coiling here. Okay, coiling. The spring is getting stronger. Okay. The question is, what direction is that going to be? So right now, I would say that we need to kind of err on the side of the shorts. Okay, we're coming off the top of this, the top line of this triangle pattern. So my view is that we're going to continue to the downside. Okay, in this market, right, and continue this triangle pattern. Longs, I need to see a break of some ranges to the upside in order for me to embrace the longs. Okay. 4-hour chart. Okay. 4-hour chart. We're going to go ahead and turn off VWAP here for a sec. Okay. Okay. So your view on this is, so what's your view on this, Ziggy? Does that mean that we're looking to head lower, head to that 19,100 level? Is that your view as well? Okay. While we wait for that answer, again, we're starting to make a series of lower lows and lower highs in this market. We've broken below some structure here. So right now, I would say that the structure remains to the downside. Okay. We have an area here around 19,700, which could be supportive. You can see the overlapping set of candles here. So we should, okay. So this area right here is an area 19,700 where we could potentially pause. Okay. I do see that we have some buyers here, but again, 19,100 is down at this level here. This is kind of where we have this triangle pattern. So yes, at least the structure right now appears that we are indeed headed in that direction. Okay. So let's move on to the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Again, we're coming off the settlement price here up on the top. So as long as we stay below settlement, again, my view remains to the downside. Okay. Initial balance is not open yet. We'll go ahead and open up ADR, which has already been reached and breached. We did get a little bit of a pullback, but we only managed to pull back to settlement price. Okay. So let's go ahead and add our levels here. All right. So we'll go ahead and add our levels. Okay, so here are our levels that we'll be tracking. We're going to go ahead and open up levels a little bit further. We'll double confirm that I have the right windows open here. So we have 930 to 6, and then this all looks good. Double check that we have the right prices. So 20,073, 75. Well, that's within tolerance. We got 19,987. That's also within tolerance. Okay. We got 20,073, 75, 19,085, 985. Point of control at 20,046. Settlement at 20,009. Okay. So average daily ranges is intact here. We have up on the top 20,202, and then right now we're resting on top of ADR low, okay, which was initially breached and now is hovering right above it. We are below. Notice how price came up to value, okay, came up to value and has been rejected. Okay, so again, this is another indicator, another feather in the cap of the bears. Okay, once bulls try to get it back inside value, and the bears would not have anything of that. Okay, so right now I would say that we have to err on the side of bears in the Nasdaq market. Okay, let's see. Initial balance is we're about 15 minutes away from that, so we'll forego that. But yeah, so that's kind of what it's looking like to me. All right. Like I said, 19,700 would be an area of interest for me to the bullish side. But outside of that, maybe an outside possibility of this 19,900 possibility. But like I said, the structure remains bearish here, right? So again, if I do my channel business here, okay, here we are. Like I said, it appears to me that we're headed lower in this market. Okay, 19,855 would be the earliest if I were to entertain a long. Would be the earliest that I would do that. Okay, right now it appears that it wants to head lower. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the ES. Unless there's any questions on the Nasdaq, we'll go ahead and move on to the ES market. Okay, again, we'll take a peek at the daily. All right, what is the daily trying to accomplish here? Well, the daily, similar to what we were seeing in the Nasdaq, we're breaking some structure to the downside. Okay, this area here at 5,720 could be an area where we could see some support. Okay, in this market, if we do manage to close below it, then I would say that the next level would be 5,700. And maybe as low as 5,500. Okay, those are the three levels that I see. You're welcome, Frizu. Okay, all right. Let's move on to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Again, we're starting to create a series of lowers and lower highs in this market. Lower low, lower high, lower low, not quite lower high just yet. Okay. We looks like we've come into an area that where we found a little bit of support, but for me really to entertain a long, I need to get above 5,700 75. Okay, for me to really entertain a long, because I am in bearish structure. I need price to break some structure to the upside. 30-minute chart. Okay, we are coming off settlement price. Okay, you can see here coming off settlement price again. My magic channels have kind of broken to the downside. Okay, indicating again that we could see some further price action again to the downside. Okay, let's go ahead and add our levels to this chart here. So here are our levels. Okay, there are levels. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open up ADR. So ADR, we have to the top side, we have 57.95, which we have here. ADR low here is 57.43. Value area low. Let's go ahead and open up this here. Value area low is actually 57.49. Average daily range low is coming in at 57.43. Okay, so 57.43 is our average daily low. Okay, and average session range, again, we're about 15 minutes away from opening this market here. We're going to go ahead and change it to London for now. Okay, all right, but understand that these ranges could change on us. So notice that price has now reversed off of this London high average session range, and it's forecasting a potential move down to 57.12. Okay, so right now I'm going to keep these levels for now. I'm going to leave these levels for now. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and modify this average session range to 57.52. Okay, but with the understanding, okay, that these ranges could change with the open of the market. Okay, 57.12 is my average session range low. Okay, is in my average session range low. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking at. Again, similar to the NASDAQ, it appears that we want to make another leg to the downside. Okay, it appears that way, right? I don't see really outside of this top of this ADR low, right, that could cause this price to stall. Okay, there's no doubt there's a possibility that we could do something like this, right? We push higher, come down to ADR low, and continue to the upside. So I'd like to see price close below this value, and that would give me a little bit more confidence. And if I can match that up with a break of initial balance to the same direction, that gives me a little bit of more confidence that we are headed down to this 57.12, 57.1250 level. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's take a final look here at the Dow before the market opens here. Okay. And okay, so again, similar kind of thing that we've been seeing in the other markets. Okay, ES and NASDAQ, we're seeing equal bearish pressure on this market. Okay, so here we can see a much more definitive, I don't know, guys, is this a head and shoulder pattern? I don't know, left shoulder, right shoulder, head, I'm not sure. Okay, we have a developing bearish candle here. Market feels quite heavy. Okay, rounding top, feels like it wants to move in that direction. Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay, we see a much more definitive, head and shoulder, left shoulder, right head, right shoulder. Okay, so again, we have a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern. If we are to measure, I guess, the neckline here, from here to here. Okay, so I don't know if this measure is accurate, but let's see if we do something along these lines. Okay, maybe there's a move of this magnitude in store. Okay, in this market. All right, that's kind of my crude forecast. Okay, so that's what we're seeing on the 4-hour chart. 30-minute chart. Okay, so here we are. I guess working our way on the right shoulder here. Okay. We're seeing that we're making our lower lows and lower highs. We're below settlement. We're below ADR. We're coming into ADR just like we were on the other markets. Okay. So the question is this going to be an area where we rally? Okay, well, if we rally, I'm not really going to embrace longs until I see a break of structure to the upside. Okay, if price breaks and holds above 42,440, then maybe they can convince me that the market is going to get higher, move higher, and we can use this ADR as a reference level. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open up ASR with the understanding that the market is still very much these ranges could indeed change on us. Okay, so let's go ahead and start to identify what some of these levels are. We have let's see, we have 42,746, 42,746 is our average daily range high. Okay, we have looks like, what is this? Turn this on here. We have value area high at 42,541. Value area high. Okay, we have point of control at 42,519. 519 point of control. Then we have let's see, value area low at 42,429 is our value area low. Okay, and let's see, we have average daily range low, which we are kind of reacting off of a little bit as we speak, at 42,352. Okay, we have settlement price. So this is ADR, average daily range low. Okay, and then settlement at 42,510 is our settlement price, which we are currently below. Okay, so right now, like I said, we have a couple of reference levels that indicate that maybe we will see some further price action to the downside. But to be fair, we have yet to make a new low after we made the lows. Okay, right now we've kind of price went through ADR low, rallied above it, and now we're hovering above it. Okay, so if this is able to hold, and as I mentioned, if we can get above at least 42,440, well, maybe this market turns back to the upside. If not, then I would say that we will continue our move to the downside. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the down market. So taking a look and seeing if there's any comments or questions. Okay, there isn't. I'm not seeing any. So with 4 minutes to spare, yeah, at this point we need to sit on our hands and wait for news to kind of flush out here. We have a news event here, if I'm not mistaken, at 9:45, okay, Eastern time. So we need to wait for that bit of news to kind of percolate through the market, okay, and then we also have the option expiration at 10 a.m. So really, in earnest, we have to wait until after 10 a.m. really to start to entertain any sort of trades in any of these markets, okay? So to eliminate anything in the way of news that could potentially impact us, okay? So with that, if there's no other questions, we'll call it a session. Okay, I think this is probably the fastest I've gone through all the sessions, 40 minutes. All right, 4 markets or 5 markets? 5 markets, 5 markets in 8 minutes a market. Not bad. Okay. All right, guys. So I will make an impromptu visit. It's not really impromptu, but I will be in making an appearance here in Top Step TV here at 10:15 10:15 Eastern time. Okay, as it relates to the VIP program. And then I will be on Top Step TV tomorrow during Power Hour. Okay, so those are a couple of locations, and in between all that, I'll be in the coaches room as well as group coaching later this afternoon. All right, if you're looking for me. Okay. All right. So with that, we'll go ahead and close this session. Again, wishing everybody a green day, as Stumps has so eloquently mentioned here. Stay green. Okay. We want to trade well, trade safe. We want to trade like pros. We want to be market traders, guys. Okay. So again, don't be shy with the likes and subscribes. Don't be shy about making a comment or two in social media on the value that these hopefully the value that these sessions are bringing to your trading. Okay. Again, these likes and subscribes are the lifeblood to content providers such as myself. I still have aspirations of continuing to grow the portal here. We have, I don't know, 466 some odd subscribers to the portal. I have a goal, short-term goal, hopefully short-term goal to reach 500 here. So, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your grandparents if they're looking for some content around futures, that the Market Trader is the place to be. Okay. All right, guys. That's as much marketing as I'm comfortable of doing without sounding like a used car salesman. Okay. So let's go ahead and close the session here, guys. Again, wishing you guys well here in the markets. All right. Trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro. Be a market trader, guys. Have a good day trading.